Is it possible to take a piece of furniture that's been stained, one that has scratches, and redo it in a way that doesn't require you to completely sand it down and perhaps trying to match stains from one part of the piece to the other, or maybe restain the entire thing? It's a lot of sanding. Or maybe having to use wood filler to fill the scratches and repaint if you want to keep that original finish. Is that possible? What do you think? Let's find out. So, time to work on this guy here. This is the first piece I bought. I think I paid 15 bucks for it. I think. And I really hated the knobs on there. So I got some new knobs from Home Depot. And there are, let's see if the shine on the sun can tell you. It actually looks in pretty good shape. There's a few things, and we can go over those in detail, but right now I've got a couple of scratches right there. Scratch I need to deal with, and so I'm going to see if it's possible to give this a gentle restoration. One of the YouTubers had called it a gentle restoration. And so we're going to see if that works, if that's possible. So I have a couple of things. Got some white paint here. And I was able to pick some of it off with just my fingernail. So I'm going to try that and see how this goes. What I'm going to do first is take out the drawers, and then Kathy's flipping powers will be on display. All right, ready? Ready for the big flip? And lots of spider webs, yay! I'm so glad I have my shop vac. So, we're going to go ahead and shop vac it first, and then we shall go and do the big clean. Wow, I can see more white paint here too I'm going to have to deal with. Okay, that's a scoop. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use Simple Green. Yay, Simple Green. Simple Green is a degreaser, and it works great for something like this. There's some white paint on this thing, and I'm going to want to get that off. Spiders, I think, came from my garage that were on there. So I did have to evict one. He got evicted outside. He'll be back in, I'm sure, anytime soon now. Okay, this says made in Thailand. So, along with Simple Green, you can use products like Dawn dish soap. Anything that's a degreaser will help clean your piece, take oils off of it. So I've taken a look at these drawers, and there's some paint on them that I need to do a lot of it with just my fingernail. And just seeing if I can get off that little bit of paint there. It's on there, and there's a few areas, a couple areas anyway, really, that Also, this might work too, but I think this is a better choice. Yeah, whatever this is called, I don't know what it's called, but I bought one because I thought I needed it. But I bought it a long time ago. So really, if you're doing anything like this, just be really super careful not to dig into the wood. I worked on this a little bit to find a color that's going to work for that scratch, and I think I've got the color, and it covered it up some. So I've got wax markers, I've got this little wood filler, and I've got, wax, these are just wax crayons. And then these are the magic markers, so like that's for white paint. The one that seems the best as far as that goes is this guy, this wax crayon. So what you do, here's the scratch right here. It covered it up pretty well, and all I did was I just went like this over it, and it actually did a pretty good job of covering it up. And then you take a scraper that's plastic. You don't want to scrape up the wood, and you can then get off the wax on the top. And it actually did a pretty good job of covering that up. Now I can still feel it a little bit, so I want to do one more thing, and then I can see if it will work on some of the other areas that I've got. And so I'm going to go right near the, there we go, see? And I'm going to let it just fall right into the area. Yeah, right there. That's it. Let it dry. And then use the scraper, scrape it off. And I'm gonna buff this a little bit. I can't get that. See, you can't even feel it now, you know, just maybe slightly. All right, so what I want to try is a couple of these other little areas and see if that'll work too, because then when I put the Restor-a-finish on, it won't, you won't see the scratch. Okay. Okay. So the color's not bad. The color's not going to probably be perfect if you do this. There we go. Let's go ahead and see if there's any place else I want to try. And I see a couple more little scrapes I might go for over here on the side. But let me go ahead and that just So just like you'd wipe wax if a candle dripped on your dresser or something. Just wipe it off. You just scrape it off and go for it. And I could slightly feel it, but it's not bad, really. So this was Dwell Furniture Repair wax sticks. And so, and yeah, there is some drying time there that they say you need to do, but it tells you how to use the lighter and how just to use it, just rubbing it on. So, but you can find these on Amazon, at the hardware store. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. I'm not noticing any other dents. There's, yes, some other scratches. But we take a look at some of the areas where we repaired right here, and some other minor scratches, but hopefully that filled it in. We'll find out. I did go over this with the simple green because I wanted to get the wax off the edges, and so that seemed to work out pretty well. After you apply the wax to the scratches, the next step is to use Restor-a-finish. Restor-a-finish is a product that will help restore color to faded wood finishes and can help you blend out scratches or blemishes. It says so right on the can. Now it comes in 7 different colors. The 8-ounce version costs about $10, I think, for each one. And if you buy it at the big stores, I think they only have the bigger version. So I got this on Amazon, and allowed me to get different colors so I could really try them out. And then you would use a cloth to apply it to the finish. Now, if you feel that your scratches are more ingrained than that and you want something a little stronger, you can use steel wool to apply it. Now, steel wool, you want to use a low grade. This is grade 000, which is a fine one, and then they have 0000, 4 zeros. So you can use that one too. I think on the can they recommend the 4 zeros, but when I ordered the Restor-a-finish, it just kind of came with the 3 zeros, the one that I got. It was like a combo. So you will probably use the steel wool for other things if you're doing any kind of refinishing, and it cost me all of $6, so it wasn't expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try the golden oak and the cherry in an inconspicuous spot and take a look and see which one works better. So I'm going to take the golden oak and the cherry in this little inconspicuous area and see how that looks. That actually looks better. And I don't think golden oak is going to hurt it to go over that. So that looks pretty good, actually. Okay, and this is cherry. So what I'm going to do is try just a little bit in that area and see if I like it better. I think I like it better. So the question is then, do I put this on the top? What I've noticed about Restor-a-finish before is that It actually helps when you go a little bit darker. Whereas with the crayons or the markers, you want to start really light before you go any darker. And with this, it seems like if you go a little bit darker, it kind of gives you a more interesting effect. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use cherry on this and just do the whole thing, and we'll just see how it works. So let's go for it. Be daring. So I'm going to try putting cherry on here with the steel wool. And we're going to see how that goes. And again, I'm going to go with the green. Got a couple of. And it's, wow, it's darker. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to like this color better than the yellow. Golden oak. It's a little strong, this stuff. A little stinky. Okay. Then do what we do, which is wipe it on. I think that looks better. I think it looks better. Yes, there's still going to be some minor imperfections in this piece. There's the excess I wiped off. But after we do that, let's take one of these yellow ones. I can see how much we actually get off at this point. Okay, so a little bit more came off with the lint-free claws. Now I could just stop here, and I am going to put some of Howard's beading wax on too, because I think overall that's just going to give it a little more protection on the top, and also it's going to give it a little bit of a sheen. So you might want to put gloves on for this part and for the Howards, because you get really waxy. Very waxy with the Howards. I'm still going with the green. I'm going to go and just go a little bit like that, just to get it on there. And I'll put a little bit on the bottom too. I did get a little doodad here to take this off. It's a little electric screwdriver. And I have no way which way this goes to get it out. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, I did it right. Yay, I did it right. All right. This is magnetized. Isn't that cool? You can unmagnetize it too. All right, so this is the one I got, which I really like these guys, but they just don't work with the rings. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the rest of these too. Anyway, ordered some new ones, which are actually nicer, a little more expensive, but you know, I'll use these elsewhere at some point. I'll start making a little collection of knobs. However, these ugly things get to go live with the at the thrift store until somebody decides they must have them. Because I don't want them. I can't ever see needing these guys on a piece of furniture. But who knows? Never say never, right? I find it amazing how Restor-a-finish manages to hide the the imperfections so much. The scratches, they seem to vanish. Now, that doesn't mean that it takes away the indent. It doesn't. But as far as changing the color and blending in with the finish, it's really amazing. And next up, Howard's Feed and Wax, a wood polish and conditioner. So we're going to do that one next. This one, you just make sure the surface is free from dust and dirt and saturate a small cloth. Wipe it on, let it stand for 20 minutes, and then wipe it off. Wipe off the excess and polish them. So that is the trick on this guy. So all the instructions are right back there. As I go through these last couple steps of putting on Howard's inside and out of this table, and also putting on the new knobs, the question we go back to from the beginning is, can you take a stained piece of furniture that has scratches and finish it in a way that's acceptable? Without sanding, without having to restain, without having to paint, do wood filler, all that kind of stuff. Is that possible? And to my mind, the answer is both yes and no. Yes, you can get a really nice finish with Howard's and with Restor-a-finish and using markers and wax crayons to fix and repair the scrapes that you might have. But it's not going to be a new finish. This is a vintage piece, and I'm perfectly okay with it having some character. But you might not be. So in that case, maybe the answer for you is no. Or maybe the answer for a different piece is no. So that's my answer to that, is both yes and no, depending on what you really want and what works for you. So as I finish up these last couple swipes, then we're going to take a look at the new knobs I got from Amazon. I think they cost $11, and I got 10 of them. So they were actually cheaper than the ones I got at Home Depot. And they look fantastic. Put this one on for you, and then we'll do the big reveal. So if you like this, go ahead and hit subscribe, give me a comment, give me a like, all that jazz. Here's the big reveal.